By breakfast the next morning, the world seemed to shift. Her colleagues noticed it first. She wasn't the silent shadow of the last 2 days. She was back to her cheerful self. Her laughter spilled across the embassy cafeteria, light and familiar, filling corners that had felt hollow without it. The members noticed too. She is glowing again, the leader teased, nudging the cook. Young must have worked some miracle. The younger one grinned, earning a playful swat. She blushed, ducking her head as she spooned rice onto her tray, pretending not to hear. But the warmth of the teasing crawled through her chest. It was embarrassing, yes, but it was also proof that she wasn't invisible. She was cared for in ways she hadn't thought possible. And across the room, he watched her with that quiet satisfaction only he carried, shoulders finally easing, lips tilting into the faintest smile. That night, when the laughter was gone and they were alone again in their apartment, she shifted uncomfortably in his arms. I want to tell you something. Her voice was soft, almost hesitant. He tightened his hold. He pecked on her hair. Her fingers fidgeted with the buttons of his shirt. The milk discharge hasn't stopped. She hesitated, cheeks burning. I think I should consult a gynec, but she rushed before he could interrupt. I don't know, it's frustrating. Her wide, pleading eyes undid him. He had faced wars of flesh and wars of fame, but nothing broke him more than her fear of needles and sterile walls. He knocked her forehead. If you don't want to go to the hospitals, then we can book an appointment. I will check who is the best in town. He kept kissing her hair. The next morning, a senior gynaec, hype affiliated, calm and impeccably discreet, stepped into their apartment with the quiet confidence of someone accustomed to both confidentiality and celebrity schedules. His black case clicked open on the coffee table. Stethoscope, syringes, sealed vials, alcohol swabs, sphygmomanometer, all gleaming beneath the soft apartment light. She sat curled at one corner of the couch, her complexion drained of color. The doctor glanced at him, voice lowering with understanding. She seems anxious. Let's begin with the vitals first. He nodded, stepping closer. Let her be with me. She listens better that way. The doctor slipped the thermometer gently beneath her tongue. She trembled faintly, eyes downcast, her breath shallow. Normal, he murmured, making a note. Next came the blood pressure cuff, its fabric whispering around her arm, the rhythmic hiss of the air filling the room. She winced at the pressure, but he was already by her side, his palm resting over hers. Easy, sweetheart, he whispered. It's just air, not pain. Her pulse was taken last, the doctor's fingers pressing against her wrist. Fast. He observed softly, glancing at him with a faint smile. Nerves, not illness. He gave a half smile in return. She's always been like that. Too brave until the moment she's not. The doctor nodded once, then set the stethoscope aside. Her fingers tightened around the edge of the couch. The doctor adjusted his glasses and offered a polite, reassuring nod. From the history your husband provided and from what I got from your vitals details, I suspect galactorrhea, possibly stress induced, but we must rule out hyperprolactinemia, a simple serum prolactin test. So let's proceed with the blood draw, just one quick prick. He drew her gently toward him, guiding her onto his lap. Her back met his chest, her head barely brushing his shoulder. He could feel every tremor that rippled through her body. Breathe, He whispered against her ear, "You are safe. Just breathe with me." The doctor tied the tourniquet high around her upper arm, the latex band snapping faintly. The blue vein rose under the skin, fragile and perfect. "One good vein," the doctor murmured. "It will be over before she knows." Her hands reaching for him, instinctively, gripping his sleeves. "Please." He turned her face toward him, brushing his stubble along her cheek into a grounding touch. His voice was firm, low, and warm. "Don't look at him, look at me. Bite if you need to, Jagia. But stay still." The cold swab touched her skin, a shiver passing through her shoulders. Then the sting. A small gasp broke from her lips, her body jolting. But his arms tightened around her, protective and unwavering. "That's it," he murmured, her temple. "That's my girl, almost done." The vial filled slowly, a dark red ribbon spiraling into the glass. Her breathing hitched. He placed his hand flat over her sternum, feeling the racing heart. "Shh, slow down," he whispered, voice trembling with gentleness. "It will over soon. My strong one, my beautiful one." The doctor withdrew the needle, pressing cotton gently over the puncture. "All done," he said quietly, her body melting into his hold, her pulse steadied beneath his touch. He didn't let go, not yet. His chin rested on her hair, his whisper just for her. "See, you did it. You were so brave." The room smelled faintly of antiseptic and something softer like safety, earned through fear and tenderness. The doctor packed his instruments back into the black case, snapping each latch shut with practiced ease. Then he paused, looking at them both with a faint, almost reluctant smile. "Her body is very responsive," he said, voice slipping into something softer, more deliberate. A brief hesitation, then his tone turned clinical again. "In fact, she is in an optimal state for conception. If you are thinking of children, now would be a good time to plan." Silence. The word hung in the air like incense smoke, sweet, invasive, impossible to ignore. Her eyes widened, her lips parting soundlessly. His breath caught in his throat. A rush of color climbed her neck. His fingers twitched by his side, aching to reach for her but not daring before the doctor. They both nodded quickly, awkwardly. Two adults caught in a moment that felt too intimate, too revealing. The word baby had undone them more completely than any touch could have. When the door finally clicked shut behind the doctor, the silence that followed was alive, fragile, shimmering with aftershocks. She sank back onto the couch, covering her face with both hands. "That was mortifying," she whispered from behind her fingers. He laughed softly, the sound low and unsteady, crossing the space between them. "Mortifying?" he echoed, gently prying her hands away. He brought her knuckles to his lips, kissing them one by one. "And yet, somehow beautiful, you facing all that fear for us." Her eyes glistened, something fragile trembled at the edge of her composure. Before she could speak, he leaned and her, slow at first, then deeper, urgent, like something had broken loose inside him. The doctor's words still echoed in his mind, optimal for conception. His fingers traced her face, as though rediscovering her, reverent, careful, odd. The space between them blurred, fear relief, and longing folding into one breath. That night, every carried the weight of unspoken dreams. Every heartbeat whispered of future neither of them had yet dared to name. The room was dim, lit only by the muted glow of the city seeping through the curtains. Shadows drifted across the walls like memories that refused to rest. She sat cross legged on the bed. Hair fell loosely around her face, damp with the evening's weight. Her fingers toyed with the edge of the bedsheet, twisting and twisting, betraying the restlessness she tried to hide. He stood by the window, hands buried deep in his pockets, gaze lost somewhere beyond the glass. His reflection stared back at him, a man, uncertain whether to speak or stay silent, to hold her or give her space. The air between them pulsed, thick with unspoken things, fear, tenderness, the ache of too many maybes. Finally, she whispered, almost to herself, why does it feel like everything changed with just one sentence? He turned, his eyes catching the faint light. Because it did, he said softly. He didn't just talk about a test or a result. He talked about a future, and suddenly it's real. Her lashes fluttered, tears shimmered before falling. He crossed the room in two strides, kneeling before her. His hands cradled her face, thumbs brushing her cheeks dry. No pressure, he murmured. No rush, just us, breathing, healing, living together. She nodded, lips trembling, and leaned into his touch. Finally, she broke it. I'm stable now. My posting is fixed. My career is secured. Why should I wait any longer? Why can't we start our family? He stopped mid-step, turned to her. His eyes softened, but his jaw was firm. You know it is not about stability. Once my military service ends, I will be discharged and BTS will need to work harder than ever. The comeback, the rehearsals, the endless tears. He dragged a hand through his hair. Right now, we live together 24/7. Later, we might not even meet for months, a year, maybe more. You will be in the embassy, guarded, protocols everywhere. I will be tracked in schedules, stages, airports. Tell me, how do we raise a child when we can't even be in the same room? She tilted her head, her innocence shining through her seriousness. But isn't that your life? Wasn't it always going to be that way? Does that mean you can't have a family life at all? He exhaled sharply, staring at her like she was unraveling every shield he wore. Her voice dropped, steady and fierce. If you don't want to give me that commitment now, then fine. But at least freeze your. Let me decide when I will go for IVF. I will take the embryo transfer, the hormonal injections, the beta HCG monitoring, the ultrasound scans. If that's the only way, then I will do it alone. He flinched at the cold precision of her words. You want to be a mother so badly, he whispered. But do you understand what that means? You are not talking about dreams. You are talking about hospitals, catheters, hormone therapy, constant venipuncture, invasive procedures. She bit her lip, but her gaze didn't waver. He stepped closer, crouched in front of her, gripping her trembling hands. His voice cracked. You shook at a single blood draw an hour ago, just one small vial, and you buried your face in my chest like it was too much. I know it was too much for you in real, and Now you speak of IVF, embryo transfer, post-pregnancy recovery, oxytocin drips, spinal anesthesia, forced deliveries, episiotomy scars. Who will hold you through all of that if I am on stage or flying across the world? Who will wipe your tears when you scream from the injections? Who will stop your shaking hands when the syringe pierces your skin? Tell me, who, if not me? Her eyes flooded instantly, but she caught his face between her palms. Her voice was a whisper, broken yet determined. Then don't imagine me weak. Imagine me strong. Because even if I shake, even if I cry, I will still endure it. If it means holding your child in my arms, don't you see? I don't need your fame, your schedules, your world tours. I just need you in me. That's enough. His breath shuddered. He pressed his forehead to hers, his lips grazing her temple, trembling. You will destroy me one day with this kind of love. Her laugh was weak, shaky. Then let me. And then his pride broke completely. He pulled her into his lap, his lips seeking hers, desperate and reverent at once. Every was an apology, every curse was a vow. He gently undid each and every layers of fabric, slid it away, hands roaming over her soft skin, anchoring himself to her warmth. Promise me one thing. He whispered hoarsely against her skin, his stubble grazing her collarbone. Don't ever call yourself alone again. IVF or natural, syringe or no syringe. I will find a way, even if I have to crawl through every schedule. I want to be there. She pressed her lips to her ear, her whisper a mixture of innocence and fire. Then take necessary actions that would create that situation. Tonight, I wish no barriers, no distance, just you in me. And in the quiet that followed, their bodies became the language their mouths couldn't speak, the language of desperation, devotion, and a love that was already rewriting destiny. His lips traced down the side of her face, slow, deliberate, as if he was trying to away every doubt she had uttered. She gasped softly when his mouth lingered at her throat, his teeth grazing the sensitive skin. You think I would ever reduce you to syringes, to frozen samples? He murmured, voice husky. When I have this, he pressed his hand over her beating heart, then slid lower, to the perfect swell of her. He arced against his palm, eyes fluttering shut. But I want a child. I want you in every way, she whispered, her innocence and boldness tangling. You are fuller than when we married, he said roughly, pulling the cup aside, taking her into his mouth. Do you know what that does to me? Her back arched, a helpless escaping. She tried to cover her shy, but he pulled her hands away, pinning them to the bed with one firm grip. No hiding, never from me. She almost whimpered, half embarrassed, half drawn in sensation. The warmth of his tongue, the scrape of his teeth, the way like he was addicted. He was unraveling her inch by inch. Please, she gasped, though she wasn't sure if it was a plea for mercy or more. He lifted his head, eyes dark, lips glistening. Please what, my love? She swallowed, cheeks burning. Please, don't stop. And he didn't. He kissed every square inch of her soft skin, her trembling body, until she was crying his name like a prayer. Her hands shook as he undid his shirt, exposing the taut lines of his chest, the scars, the muscles that once belonged to a soldier but tonight belonged only to her. She touched him reverently, fingertips trembling, nails leaving fresh marks that made him grow. When he finally entered her, there was no rush, just a slow, deep journey. His forehead pressed to hers, both of them trembling. She clung to him, nails in his back, whispering words she didn't even know she was capable of. I'm yours, always yours. He kicked her fiercely, as if sealing the vow. Their breathing grew desperate, wet trailing across her cheeks, her throat, her the bed creaked with their urgency. The air filled with soft cries and dragged breaths, and when she shattered in his arms, he followed, burying himself fully inside her. No barrier, no distance, no fear. After he didn't let her go, he wrapped her in his arms, pulling the sheets over them. Her temple, her damp hair, her swollen lips. Her body still quivered, oversensitive, but she felt safe, anchored in the heat of his chest, his heartbeat steady beneath her palm. You are my home, he whispered against her hair. Love you. And she smiled through her tears, knowing that he was truly hers, body, heart, and soul.